estate and business with Ernest Caston, the Chicago area realtor, Erica Clark of Quad Pro Taxes, and our special guest
Hello.
tonight is Miss Crystal Johnson, attorney.
Yay!
Hi.
I'm gonna get me a clap machine one day, Crystal.
I know. We got to get some
Okay.
horns or something.
I know, right?
Right.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Good.
Right. So let me make sure we live, y'all. We should be good. All right, so it's counting down, but I want to make sure I don't see it on social media, so I want to make sure we're good.
Okay.
So while we waiting for me to get logged in, Crystal, can you introduce everybody to who you are?
Yes, absolutely. So I am attorney Crystal Johnson. I am licensed to practice law in Indiana. My office is located in Crown Point, Indiana. It's my own law firm. It's called Law Office of Crystal L. Johnson. My primary practice areas are tax, real estate, and I'm doing a little bit of entertainment, and I also deal with small businesses, so I can help clients form their businesses. And I'm actually the co-owner of Johnson Tax and Accounting, so I'm a tax preparer as well.
Okay, so you got your hands in a little bit of everything.
I do. Yeah, I do.
Before we get off into the real estate and tax sales, what you say entertainment? How does that work? How does that coincide with each other?
So I do, draft contracts, negotiations, and things, for some celebrities. So yeah, I don't talk much about it, but
cool.
Yeah.
See, we're dealing with we're dealing with a star right now.
I know.
No, I wouldn't say all of that.
He's doing it for the big wigs.
No, I'm just a little small fish.
So, Crystal, with me and you've talked, and the Indiana tax sale has come out.
Yes.
The tax, I seen the list come out about 2 days ago.
Yes. So he's referring to the Lake County, Indiana tax sale. We have a commissioner's tax sale coming up, and it will be in May of this year. So this is our most popular tax sale. Most of the properties are located in Gary, Indiana. I live in Gary, Indiana. I'm a longtime resident. The reason why this sale is so popular is because there's a short redemption period. It's only 120 days, and the beginning bid is $500. So no matter what the property owner owes in delinquent taxes, the bid will start at $500, and you will not be responsible for the delinquent taxes.
Okay. How does a property end up on the auction block? Is it like an auction? Is that what this is? Right. How does a property end up on there?
So what happens is, you have to pay your property taxes. Once a property owner does not pay their taxes for 3 installments, it'll end up, more than likely, I would say, it will end up on the treasurer's tax sale, which is our first tax sale that comes up in the fall. So what the county is trying to do at that point is the starting bid will be the amount that the property owner owes. And it's a 1-year redemption period for that particular sale.
So once the property is on the auction, there's no way that the homeowner can actually go try to get their property back once they can. Okay.
Yeah. So when I say redemption period, that is a time limit that the property owner or anybody that's interested in the property. So let's say you have a mechanic's lien, maybe there's a mortgage on the property, they can redeem the property, which means they have a year in order to pay those taxes plus penalties and fees. And, if you paid your attorney, you get your money back for that as well. They'll have to pay that as well.
Okay. Because I know for Gary, Indiana, I guess that'll be really good because they need to get those houses back on the tax roll.
Yes.
So they can have money for the town. Okay.
Absolutely.
So when starting your tax, if I want to start real estate investing into the tax sale, kind of walk me through the process and where I should start. What kind of people I ought to have in my sphere? How can you walk me through that process?
Well, first of all, you already know that I encourage networking with someone that has been through the tax sale process, and also to get with a person like me because I'm an attorney, of course, and I am a property tax lien investor as well. Right. So I would like everyone to get educated before you get to the sale so that you won't make costly mistakes. Okay. So a costly mistake is bidding on a property that is worthless. or something that you really didn't want. So let's say you wanted a multi-unit, but you bid it on a vacant lot. Now, if you're bidding on a multi-unit, you're probably going to spend quite a bit of money. You don't say at the tax sale, maybe 10, 15, 20,000. And then you end up finding out it's the lot next door to it. So we want to learn how to do our due diligence, which means your research.
Okay.
To the sale. You want to know the rules of the sale because you have to follow those rules to the T. Okay. If you make any mistakes, you might be, you might not be able to participate because you'll be denied your registration. So you definitely want to get educated.
So
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying this interests me. So is it a list that comes out before this happens so people can start? So I don't know, what would a person do? They start researching the houses, go see where they are. Is it the addresses? It's a list that they can see before they get there and before the auction starts. So
now I'm only referring to Lake County, Indiana, but this applies throughout the United States because pretty much every county and state, a county in a state has some type of form of a tax sale. Right. So you can have a property list. So our property list is out already for our sale that's coming up in May. Okay. So it's on onyxelectronics.com, onyxelectronics.com. That's where the list is. So we have a total of 9,502 properties on our tax sale. Now, I know you're wondering, well, how do I sort through all of those properties?
Right.
Okay. There is a method to it. It's two Excel spreadsheets. Okay. There's a method to it because what you need to know is you need to know where do you want to invest? What neighborhood? What are you looking for? Are you looking for a single family home? Are you looking for land that's maybe, some acreage? There's a way to sort that list. I mean, everything is on this list to be able to sort it, but most people don't know how to deal with the list.
Right.
So I do have a workshop where we go through it and we research properties and I show them how to pull out what they're looking for. So I can sort, me personally, because I've been doing this for a while, I can go through that list and sort it in 5 minutes and pull out my criteria. So it'll be single family homes, this zip code. That's all I'm looking at. Okay. So that'll save you some time if you know how to sort that list. And like for older people that don't know how to deal with Excel, get some kids to do it. They know how to do it.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you can also build a team. So like you said, you have your attorney. I always suggest pulling in a realtor, which would be me. Somebody who's familiar with the area, familiar with the comps. There's a group that you're a part of, Tax Lien Tuesdays.
Yes.
One thing they call it boots on the ground. And to me, the lead person that's boots on the ground would be a realtor or a home inspector, somebody who's very familiar with the community and somebody who could help, or maybe an appraiser, somebody who could help you come up with the ARV on these properties.
That's true. That's so true. Yes.
So getting started into the, if I wanted to go to the sale or attend the sale, how much capital do you think I would need coming in the door?
Well,
with Indiana.
I always advise people to have at least $5,000.
Okay.
At least $5,000. Now that this sale is so popular, I'm kind of upping that sum, but $5,000 is a conservative amount to have for the sale.
Do you have to be like I'm from Illinois? Could I go in Indiana, or you have to be a resident of Indiana?
No, you can. Anybody can come to this sale as long as you have a valid ID. You cannot owe taxes and can't owe property taxes in Indiana. Have any pending bankruptcies and things like that here in Indiana.
Okay, but
people come from everywhere. We have people from foreign countries come here for this sale, but we're bidding online this time and we're doing our registration online, so you don't have to actually come here. No, let me go backtrack. You have to come here to see the property.
Oh, okay.
You need to come here to see the properties. But what I teach people to do is we're going to do our online due diligence first so we can narrow that list down. I don't want anybody driving around to see 100 properties.
Okay.
You can narrow that list down because some of these properties have federal tax liens that may not be discharged. You know what I'm saying? They may have demo liens. They may have things that you can, just X them off your list because I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? We want a property that's easy to get in and get out. Okay.
Now, what's the website for the list again?
It's Onyx Electronics. Onyx Electronics. That's ONYX Electronics.
Okay, I'll put it in the comments.
Yeah, you're gonna see 2 Excel spreadsheets on there. It's gonna be a first timer sheet and a repeaters. The The first timers, that's not for people that are, this is their first time at the sale. The first timers, these are the properties that are the first time appearing on this sale. Then you have your repeaters. They have repeated the cycle. They've been on the sale before. So there's repeating the cycle. Okay.
So you say minimum come in with $5,000. That's pretty much somebody's tax return.
Yep.
Exactly. So this is like the perfect time to use that to acquire some property. But you can get a property, like I said, the bid starts at 500. You can get a property for 500, but you got to think about what that property gonna look like. Are you into construction?
Okay.
You know.
Now, with the redemption period, what was the time frame on the redemption period?
For this sale that's coming up, it's 120 days for the commissioner's tax sale. 120 days. Very short redemption period.
And after the redemption period, either you take on the property or they either after
the redemption period, there's a process. We have to go to court. We have to do. So I'm gonna tell you, even though it's a short redemption period, the whole process takes about 9 months to a year, which is still not long. Okay, that's not a long time, because some other counties it's like 3 years for their redemption periods and things like that. So it's still a short period of time.
So you can either acquire the property within a year, or the homeowner themselves will eventually end up paying you a premium for holding on to the taxes for that long, or what? How does that?
Yeah, so there's a redemption. So like I tell people, this is a win-win situation. Right. You're either going to get the property, or you're going to get your money back plus interest and penalties and what you paid your attorney and any other costs that you paid. You'll get it back. But what I want people to do is pick a good property.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because nobody's going to redeem swampland.
Exactly. So what's the typical interest rate on it?
So on this particular sale, at the commissioner sale, it's 10% of the minimum bid. 10% of the minimum bid.
And they pay that over time, monthly? How does that work?
When they redeem the property, then that's when the tax sale department will calculate the interest and the penalties. Okay. So for instance, there was a property that one of my properties was redeemed, my lien was redeemed in about 2 months. I paid $5,000 for it. I received $5,266.17 back. Okay.
Okay.
But it was 10% on a minimum bid. It was on the amount that the property owner owed, not on my $5,000.
Okay.
Okay. So you're still doing better than the stock market.
Oh, exactly.
So if someone comes to your company and say, "Hey, I need for you to come help us," what exactly do you provide during this process for someone like me who don't know anything about going and doing an auction? If I, hire, like, what services are you providing a person? I know you said workshops.
Yeah.
But is there anything else that you provide?
Right now? Yeah, right now I'm providing a free workshop, which is a 5-hour, very in-depth workshop. Because what we need to do is we need to get through the registration process. A lot of people do not read. Okay.
Exactly.
And they're depending on us to not read. So I break it down. We're going to read. Okay. We're going to read. We're going to go through everything. I'm going to show you how to do the registration form. I'm going to show you how to research properties. That way you can narrow that list down. Okay. I'm going to give you some strategies of investing in real estate, because there's a lot of things that you can do with these properties. It's, what I'm saying, once you get it, okay, what do I do now? Right. So you can fix it up, you can rent it, you can purchase it, and once you get your deed, you can sell it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. We need to figure out our numbers. I show people how to calculate the estimated after values, how to figure out maybe the estimated comps amount, the fair market value, things like that. It's a lot.
Okay. So you really walking around with about 4 different capes on, because you done called out a real tax and attorney. Okay. So you have a lot going on, and you pretty much laid into the due diligence part. When it comes to like the liens, the different type of liens that's on the properties, let's say a mechanic's lien, tax lien, mortgage liens. How does that come into play once I purchase or try to acquire a certain property?
So what happens is after you win your bid, you're going to give your receipt to your attorney. Okay. We're going to order a professional title report. Okay. We're going to send notices out, statutory notices, to everyone that's on that the title search report, and also I go beyond the title search report. Okay. So sometimes I have to skip search and do a skip trace and things like that to try to notify everyone. Now, you have to think about it. If a property has a mortgage on it, more than likely they're not going to redeem, because usually mortgages have what? Escrow.
Right.
And most of these properties are paid off. They've been paid off for a very long time. And if there is an active mortgage on it, 9 times out of 10, the mortgage company does not want that property because it's not worth them preserving. Right. Okay. Now the mechanics lien, I'm going to notify whomever has that mechanics lien of what's going on. So everyone's going to be notified that they have an opportunity to redeem that property. And if they don't, then that's when we go forward and we move forward. We file a petition to issue a tax deed in court.
Okay.
So should a person have at least a couple of properties in mind? Because I know a lot of people may be auction off the one property, maybe 20 or 100 people trying to get one property.
I always recommend having at least 20 to 30 properties
on
your list. So as you're going through bidding, so of course you're going to have competition, because once I teach you how to do this, you're going to be picking nice properties. Right. So more than likely you're going to have competition. So we don't get emotionally tied to anything. Right. If somebody wins one, all right, scratch it off the list. Let's allocate what we had allocated for that property. Let's go to the next property and let's keep it moving. So that's another thing I teach my students, is how to be organized during the sale, because mentally you got to be in shape. Physically, you got to be in shape, because we get really nervous. So your adrenaline gets to pumping and your blood pressure's up, and you can make costly mistakes. So we're going to calm down. We're going to have everything laid out, organized, so that we'll be cool during the sale.
Right. You want to play chess, not checkers. You want to be strategic about it.
Right.
And make sure you're going in for the win.
Yes.
So in doing that research, I know a lot of people go instantly run to the nicer neighborhoods. I would definitely advise people to really consider going back into the hood.
Oh yeah.
Definitely go back into the hood, because it's gonna be other ethnic groups that's going in there and grabbing some awesome properties.
Yes.
And where we're trying to bail out on, I think we ought to really try to dive into going back into the hood, buying the block back, as they would say.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like I tell people, people will live in anything. You know what I'm saying? The number one thing that we need is shelter.
Exactly.
So, and we can build up our hoods. You know what I'm saying? We can make our hoods nice.
I mean, that's what they're doing now. I mean, even in Chicago, look at the areas, Roseland. Oh my God, you should see how they're changing Roseland right now. So I can imagine going into another neighborhood, and that's what people should do. Just try to invest, bring back the neighborhoods, and have the property value go up.
Yes, because also I follow a lot of real estate investors, and there's a guy in Cleveland, because of course we're into it for business, and then again we're into it to preserve our communities and make our areas nice.
Exactly.
But he did say that you can sell a property in the hood for $200,000. You have to think about it. How much is the average rent? Okay. Average rent is what, $850 to $1,000.
Depending on Indiana side, what, about $800 to $1,000?
Yeah.
Illinois, anywhere from 11 to maybe up to 13 or 14, depending on how many bedrooms.
Right. So if I can get you into a house, I fix it up really nice, because think about it, we're getting these houses for pennies on the dollar. I mean, I have a house for $3,300. Okay. I don't mind putting 40, 50 into it. I mean, lay that sucker out. I mean, I didn't pay hardly nothing for it.
Right.
Okay. Now I sell it for $250 or whatever. Now that I know that I have a person that really is going to take care of the house, you know what I'm saying? And they're paying less than what they would have paid in rent.
So that's a strategy for you right there. I don't know if they caught that nugget, but they're going to rewind it and catch it. They're going to catch it. So I'm looking at it. What's the difference between a tax lien state? What is that? Can you differentiate that?
So a tax lien is where there's a redemption period. So there's a period of time in which the property owner or anyone with substantial interest in the property can redeem the property. When you have a tax deed, you're just going to pay for that property and then you get the property.
Now, what states fall up under tax deed state?
Well, I know that St. Louis is a tax deed state. They're going to have their auction in April, I believe. and I'm not sure about the other. I do have a map in my workshop of the tax deed and tax lien states, but I really focus on Indiana.
Right.
But I know St. Louis has a tax deed state, so I'm considering St. Louis as well because that's where my mom is from.
Okay. Well, the reason why I bring it up because I'm gonna tap into the tax Tuesday tax lien show.
Mm-hmm.
So I want people to understand that they could take this process that they're learning and maybe go to St. Louis, maybe go to Memphis, maybe go to Memphis or any other state, Georgia. A lot of people are going down to Georgia,
Michigan.
Florida, and different states. They could take this process and try to apply it elsewhere. They go across to the Illinois border and try to put it together over there.
Yeah, and with my class, I don't just teach people that are going to the Lake County, Indiana tax sale. I teach people from throughout the country because I can't teach you your rules, but I can show you where to get your rules from. Now, the strategies and the due diligence, that applies across the board. Once you got this game down packed, you can go anywhere and do this.
Okay.
So this is bigger than Lake County, Indiana.
I know it's always, hey, when it comes to real estate, it's bigger than it's worldwide. It's worldwide and it's generational. It's the foundation of building generational wealth. So
yes,
definitely take the strategies and apply it to across the board. So
I think we have some questions.
You gotta, so somebody asks, what's the typical cost for an attorney?
Okay, so the typical cost for an attorney here is first of all, is per parcel. So I always know it's per property. So we're looking at about $650, and I've seen all the way up to $1,500 per property. Okay, now with the $650, some of the attorneys, what they're going to do is they're going to bill you for your certified mailings and things like that. So the $650 plus cost, and then you have people like me. It's just a flat fee. Everything's included. Okay. And that's well, you have to keep in mind because a lot of people, they'll get a bunch of $500 properties. And then they're like, well, why do I have to pay this for a $500 property? It's the same process. I don't care if you paid $100,000. We have to do the same process for every property.
Okay. And about the workshop, is your workshop coming soon since it's getting so close to, or it already passed? So tell people how they can get it. The workshop.
So the workshop is on it's on March 5th. March 5th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And you can go to my website. Well, I guess you'll have it on your site.
I got it coming up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. And you ought to register fast. I have 500 spots, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. They are almost all filled up.
Okay. Good job. Okay. And how much is the workshop? Is that on there?
It is free $99.
Oh.
Free.
Okay, everybody, y'all better jump on it.
Limited time, it is free $99.
So you did say free or three?
I said free.
Okay.
Free $99.
Those that I wanted to elaborate and make sure they heard that.
Yes.
Right.
You gotta register like soon because I'm doing this on March 5th. The registration begins on March 8th. So I'm gonna have you ready to register. Okay.
Now, quick question. I know we pretty much coming close to the end. Are the Illinois and Indiana tax sales the same or what?
No, they're drastically different. Pretty much every county is different. So there was with the annual sale over there. I know they had to put up collateral and all this.
Yeah, Illinois is probably a whole different.
Yeah, but the scavenger sale I heard was a little bit better. Like I said, everyone needs to research the rules of their county and also network. I strongly suggest that you join a real estate investment organization or do like we do on social media, get on Clubhouse, you know what I'm saying? Get into some of these tax lien rooms on Facebook. Have a friend, have somebody help you that has done it before. So you don't make those mistakes because people will share information.
So the registration for the Indiana tax sale is
it's going to be March 8th through March 17th on onyxelectronics.com. If the link doesn't come up when you put in onyxelectronics.com, just search Onyx Electronics.
Okay. And then the actual sale date, the auction date itself is May?
It is May 9th through May 12th. It may last a little longer because there's so many properties. We have 9,502 properties, but it's May 9th through May 12th. If you're going to be at the auction, I do suggest that you take off of work. This is not something that you want to do on your cell phone. You want to be tuned in. I usually have about 6 monitors up. It's serious.
Right.
So this is not a game, okay?
Well, if they really go dive into it and want to experience it and get in there and start a strategy, the first thing they need to do is definitely attend your workshop.
Absolutely.
Which, like you said, March 5th. Other than that, you're walking blind. You walking into a situation you have no knowledge on.
Yeah, because I went through the list and I can see where, because you have to think about it. It's a lot of worthless properties. Like I was going through the land, and it's like a lot of landlocked land. You don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to research the properties in detail.
Okay. Now tell us the Tuesdays group. The Tuesday group every Tuesday at 6 p.m.
Yes. So it's
Clubhouse is called
Tax Lien Tuesdays.
Okay.
Tax Lien Tuesdays.
And and Facebook? How can they reach you on Facebook?
They can reach me. I have my business page, which is Law Office of Crystal L. Johnson, and I also have my personal page, which has become my business page, Crystal L. Johnson. Just look me up. I have 2 pages. You can get on both of them.
Hey, and I love the pictures. I ain't tell you that. I love the
Thank
new
you.
pictures.
I appreciate it.
She
Thank
took
you.
pictures and
Shout out to Pro
she looked fabulous on the picture. Shout out to who?
Pro Focus, Clyde Scott. He's my photographer.
Okay.
He did an awesome job. He did
an awesome job.
Thank you.
There's also a Facebook group, All Things Tax Liens.
Yes, All Things Tax Liens.
So
yes.
If anybody has any interest in the tax lien sale for Indiana, and just learn different strategies that you can apply across the board, definitely reach out to Crystal Johnson either through Clubhouse, which is Tuesday Tax. Well, help me out.
Tax Lien Tuesday. Every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And you always can find me on social media if you want to, if you need an invite or something. I don't know if they're still doing the invites for Clubhouse, but I will invite you in to the room.
Okay. Hey, I definitely appreciate you being on the show, dropping these nuggets. The purpose of this show is to educate, inform, give people different strategies of how to get into the real estate industry. Those who want to start a business, maybe real estate. Those who need their LLC, their corporate S corp. Help me out. Everything that you and Erica do.
Yeah, nonprofit.
They need to reach out to you guys. Erica, any last words?
Just everybody get your tax stuff in. They are releasing some refunds now. So the earliest you can get it in, please get your tax preparation done.
And Crystal, we're gonna leave you with the last word since you're our guest, our special guest. We appreciate you.
Yeah, so thank you for having me. For anybody that's interested in getting started in tax liens, please hit me up. I will help you out. No question is silly. You know what I'm saying? I started, somebody helped me, so I'm gonna pay it forward. That's what I'm doing.
And that's what we're about. That's what we're about. Again, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, Crystal, thank you so much, Crystal.
I will be logging in, and I'll be at the workshop.
All right, awesome. You all take care.
Okay, thank you. Everyone have a good evening.
You too.
So
Bye-bye.
Let's go down Wednesdays with the Bird's Eye View of Real Estate and Business with Ernest Caston, your Chicago area realtor, Miss Erica Clark of Quad Pro Tax, and our special guest who dropped some gems tonight, Miss Crystal L. Johnson. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Good night. Stay safe, you all.
All right.